in this country, it's just a pylon, you know. If you're not an Arsenal fan, hate us, hate us, hate us.
I have seen managers sacked for less. And I'll be honest, I think if Daniel Levy was still there, I think he would have been gone quite some time ago.
I messaged Stevie saying, please help us out. I've also messaged Javi saying, see you next season.
Do you remember
what we actually did it.
again?
You lot sing now, I'll be singing it, mate.
Hello and welcome to Inside talkSPORT. This is your definitive preview of the weekend sporting action. I'm Abbi Summers.
And I'm Harry Durham. In the next 25 minutes, we'll be dissecting the 3 biggest talking points that have been in your group chats this week. We're talking Premier League titles, the battle for the top 5, and the future of several managers, all hanging in the balance.
I can't wait to get into that. Joining us for our very first show, we've got former Liverpool winger and one of talkSPORT's very own Jermaine Pennant, and he is never shy of an opinion. It's CJ, the deluded Gooner.
Let's get straight into it with our number 1 pick of the weekend. It's safe to say all the Premier League chat is currently consumed by one subject. Are Arsenal bottling it or not?
Could never be. So we'll get straight into that then with a look at Leeds against Arsenal at 3 p.m. on Saturday. The first question then for the panel. Surely, CJ, they cannot fumble this again. Can they?
Define fumbling. I mean, you look at the last 10 games. I know there's a lot of nonsense that's said about the last 3 games, but I mean, you tell me if this is bottling. Last 10 games in the Premier League, 7 wins, 2 draws and 1 L. You sandwich that in between 8 from 8 in the Champions League. We're still in both domestic cups. Yes, the points tally has been cut from 7 points, I believe, to 4. It's January. I mean, if you're going to call us bottlers, you have to surely do that in hindsight. Right now is not the time for that. I know that's not the narrative, but for a team that nobody rates, there's surely a lot of nonsense said about us, but there's no bottling at this moment.
CJ, I know why people hate Arsenal fans. I hate Arsenal fans. Abbi, she hates Arsenal fans. Do you think the footballing world is just, a bit too harsh on the Gooners and the fan base?
It's a good question, man, and it's one that does my head in, if I'm completely honest. Where I look at Europe, I think we get a lot of plaudits in European media. When we play top teams, they give us our plaudits. I think in Europe, they give us our credit for the last 3 or so years, having a great manager, having the sort of system that we play. In this country, it's just a pylon, Again, on one hand, you say we're bottlers and we can't do it, etc., etc. And then you say it's a failure if we don't win trophies. I'm not even arguing that. I'm just trying to find some common sense. We're definitely hated in this nation. George Graham said it, but I'm not being funny. Nobody cares about the external validation. If you're not an Arsenal fan, hate us, hate us, hate us. And even in the last week when we lost to Manchester United, teams that would pray to be where Arsenal Football Club are at this moment in time, they take more pleasure in seeing us lose than actually whether,
much joy.
Going in.
Much
Exactly.
joy.
Exactly. Look how sad that is.
Honestly, it hit different.
Look how sad that is.
The Dorgu, the Cunha goal, it actually
Look how sad that is. Look how sad that is.
It's not, though.
That's very sad.
No, CJ, do you know,
that's sad.
obviously we're saying, are we too harsh on Arsenal fans, right?
Yeah.
And the hate. But, do you not feel that, as a community, surely you lot bring it on yourself?
Every fan base brings it on itself.
No, but you lot especially bring it on yourself.
Okay. So when Spurs are telling us that they're the biggest club in North London and all of these kind of things in the power
we're
shift.
We're the most self-deprecating fan base. We know what we are.
It's not our fault that our team is loved. It's not our team that we're the kings of the culture. It's not our fault.
I sort of worked it out before bed the other night. I was thinking about it.
Yeah, late night thoughts.
Late night thoughts. 80s, it was obviously Liverpool. Then you sort of get into the 90s and the 2000s. That's when people say, obviously, arrogant Liverpool fans. I think I avoided that because obviously I wasn't around in the 80s. But then you think about you winning your last Premier League title in 03-04 and the 20 years on, it's the entitlement.
What entitlement?
You're still hung up on a Premier League that you won
Invincibles
close to 25 years ago.
And has it been matched since?
Mate, there's so many clubs.
And do you know what's so funny? Do you know what's so funny about that? Do you know
11 games?
That's great. We still never lost. We still never lost. We still never lost. We still never lost. We still never lost.
Can I ask you that?
What are we talking about?
Obviously,
Who's matched that?
as an ex-footballer.
What are you lot on?
And ties to Arsenal as well. Do you rate probably that Invincible season? Obviously, we all rate it because it's a massive thing to do. But where do you think that Invincible team would fare in modern day football?
Careful, Abbi.
I'm just asking the question.
In modern day football, I think they would fare quite well, to be honest, because you look at the players that they had and you look at where football's gone now, I would think they would be able to handle it.
And the mentality.
And you still think they would be invincible?
I wouldn't think they would be invincible, no, but they would, under their own, they would do well in the Premier League because I think the standard then was probably better than it is now.
Yeah,
and especially the style of football. Yeah, there was a great team, and I think, to answer your question, they'll do well.
Ask him who you trained with as well.
We know.
Say
Do you want a
again.
name drop? You can name drop if you want. I
Exactly.
don't mind.
Let's the name drop.
You've
Put
look,
some respect on them Invincibles.
There is massive respect for the
No,
Invincibles.
but you lot are talking like
I'm
that.
just
Like,
saying-
I know, but you just live off of it.
Yeah,
You know
like-
what
how
I
can we
mean?
live off
Do
it when you
dine
lot
out.
mentioned it to me? We're looking forward. We're trying to
having-
get
we're
over the
having a
line.
conversation.
You were the
No.
first people to mention Invincibles.
We're having a conversation.
So it's
You
going
lot
on
mentioned
since primary
2004.
school, and I'm still talking
But
about it when
30
I'm like,
years
I'm nearly
later.
30.
Well,
Sorry, what team do you support?
Fulham.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Harry Wilson.
Move on.
best-
Harry Wilson
best-
better numbers than
you would
Bukayo
pray.
Saka.
You would
Actually,
pray.
you've-
You would pray
Better
to
numbers
be
than Bukayo
Arsenal.
Saka
You
this
would
season.
pray
I
to be
wouldn't.
Arsenal.
Better numbers
You
than Bukayo
lot
Saka
buy
this
our
season.
garbage.
Better
You lot
numbers
buy
than
our
Bukayo
players that
Saka
are gone.
this season.
You
Have
don't.
fun with
I
Smith
don't.
Rowe.
We've segued
No, we just
me.
take your stars.
You've like who'd you
Sol
take?
Campbell, and we gifted you
Have
Harry
him.
Kane.
Have him.
Thank
Have
you.
him. And
Thank you.
Harry Kane was the
Kane
biggest
came from our
oversight
academy.
ever. You might have actually won something if you
Kane
had
came
Harry
from our
Kane,
academy.
If you had actually done that.
Kane came from our academy.
If you'd have done that.
Kane came
Anyway,
from
you've
Helena.
segued me in nicely. You've segued me in nicely because let's talk about attackers because the numbers that have been doing the rounds this week, and rightly so, are your attacking stats are absolutely horrible. Is that on the players, the manager, tactics? Just, I will give you them as well in case anyone did miss them this week.
Please.
Bukayo Saka, 0 goals in 13 appearances in all comps. Victor Gyökeres, 0 non-penalty goals in the last 11 appearances. Gabriel Martinelli, 0 goals in the last 13 Premier League appearances. Noni Madueke, 0 goals in the last 25 appearances. And Leandro Trossard, 1 goal in the last 11 appearances in all comps. Top scorer this season is Victor Gyökeres with 10.
He
Sorry.
stinks, mate. He
I just doubled that in
stinks.
my head. It's 5. He can only dream,
stinks.
dream of having 10.
Are you sure? Are you sure? In all
Oh,
comps
sorry.
he
Do you
hasn't got 10?
want to?
No, because you was right first round.
I'm just reading the stats. So
Are we
unless,
talking about the Prem or
unless
the
the
Champs?
stats are wrong.
No,
unless
no.
Top scorer Premier League this season, Victor Gyökeres 5.
What
Leandro
player?
Trossard 5. Your third is own goals. When did
Great
you sign
player.
him?
Good player.
Great
When did you sign him?
Amazing player. Shout out Andrea
Shout
Bell.
out.
Amazing.
He did well with
Unique
Scotland before he
qualities.
came down.
Look, you have to be honest. Like
Yeah.
Victor Gyökeres, like signing him.
He's a donkey.
You said it, not me.
He's donkey. He's meant to be fast.
He's
I'm
only
currently
one of-
weighing in at about 20 stone right now, and I think I've got a better acceleration rate than him. Come on now.
Let's respect.
Come on now.
Let's respect Victor.
Come on now. When he was at Cov, I wanted him to come
Let's
to Fulham.
respect Victor Gyökeres. He's back.
Respect what?
If
He
you let
scored
me,
against
if you let me
Kyra.
finish,
Yeah.
if you let me finish,
Found his level.
if you let me finish, you're right. He's found his level. He's bagged against Inter. He's bagged against Atletico Madrid. Rightly so. He's got 10 goals in all comps and things of that ilk. When people sit here and question mark his weight and question mark if he's playing in boot cuts, etc. What I will say on that, getting back to the original question is to answer your question, Abbi and Harry. Of course, there's attacking concerns, and you mentioned several players struggling. The players have to pull their fingers out. They need to do a bit better. But if we're going to sit here and talk about, like you said, Saka, Martinelli, this one, that one, surely that's a collective issue for the manager. His pragmatism has got us here. He needs to develop a way of just simply putting down the handbrake. And I've seen it in moments, probably in the Champions League, definitely in the second half against Manchester City way back in the season. I don't know what it is. Honestly, I don't know what it is. I think the players need to do a bit better. Clearly, there's something that needs to be reworked. People talk a lot about low blocks and deep blocks, and it's not that we're not necessarily playing against that, guys, but that is something that we've had an issue with in the last 2 years. So simply put, we've now come into another season where we're kind of talking about the same old things.
I think this case of Mikel Arteta being a bit too over-emotional, over-passionate.
Oh,
I mean, no, he drinks
here
he's
we go.
drank at the same cup
Here
as
we
Pep.
go.
No, he has.
Here
He
we
has.
go.
And Pep's got the trophies to prove it. I mean, yeah, the team at Barcelona was absolutely unbelievable.
So he's not
Mikel
allowed to be
Arteta, I
passionate.
think it's going to be his downfall of how emotional he is. But
I'd say that. I'd
if
say him not
So his
taking
actions on the
handbrake off.
touchline?
him probably
Having
actually
having
being
a
good
lack
enough
of
at the same
bottles
time as
probably
well.
more like
But he's been emotional and got us to this point. But granted, we've got
you've won
questions.
an FA Cup and a Community Shield.
Yeah. I hear that. But you can't. You're talking about his actions on the sideline. What does that have
He
to
should
do
be
with it?
penalised every time he steps out of a technical area.
All right, you lot move on, man.
I'll ask you this.
Silliness.
I'll ask you this. I'll ask you this.
Nonsense.
If he wins an FA Cup or a Carabao Cup, just either of the domestic cups, yeah, does he keep his job in the summer? If he doesn't win a Champions League or a Premier League, like obviously you should.
Well, if you're asking me what I genuinely think about Arsenal Football Club, I think if he doesn't win silverware, he'll still be in a job. What I would say is when them lot won a bit of silverware down the lane, when Newcastle won, when Crystal Palace won and all these teams won, people told us a trophy's a trophy, silverware is all that matters. So by that logic, I don't want to hear nonsense if he wins only a league or an FA Cup. Now, if you're asking me, of course, I want to see us win the Champions League. I've never seen that. Of course, I want to, win our first Premier League title in the Emirates era. And we're so close. We're very close. People call us bottlers. We've shown consistency to be in a title race. My thing is this. End of the day, we've not got over the line. So we need to be a different kind of animal. We've been a good team. It's now about to be a great team. So anything that we're good at, take it to another level. Address the evident areas of investment. And let's see where we can go, man.
Let's get into our second hot topic of the weekend then. And this one is all about pressure, because heading into this weekend, there are a couple of managers who simply cannot afford another bad result in the Premier League.
Liverpool and my beloved Spurs might finish third and fourth in the Champions League phase, but in the Premier League, it's a very different story. Let's start with Spurs then. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If results keep going the way they're going, then realistically, how long can my club stick with Thomas Frank? I must be like broken record.
Look, I think this is
You
where
lot were
CJ
on
can
thin
get
ice.
his revenge.
Give him time. Give him time. Give him time.
No, he's
Can't
on.
just blame the manager.
He's on thin ice. I think if the results in the Premier League continue to go the way they're going, he won't be in a job.
Do you think he says thin ice there, Jermaine? Do you think the ice has already broken through, but he's just got like a little snorkel that's somehow still breathing, and he's just getting his last gasps of air? Because you could see this weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, the state that the Spurs are in, obviously, then be decent in the Champions League, and you bring it, obviously, to this situation. You're terrible at home. It's not great away at the same time as well. Could you see a situation where it could be like a 5-0 drubbing, raining, and it's just depressing from all angles?
I mean, genuine life, is quite depressing as a Spurs fan anyway. I don't know, I'd be shocked if City battered us just because of how inconsistent they've been. I mean, for other bad mind energy reasons, I'm not totally against it either. But back to Spurs.
You don't have a choice.
Back to Thomas Frank. You lot must be sick of me having head loss and rants about this guy. Never gets old?
Nah, never. Love this song.
I have seen managers sacked for less. And I'll be honest, I think if Daniel Levy was still there, I think he would have been gone quite some time ago. They're obviously doing this restructure at Tottenham, different people in there, Vinay being one. They seem to be sticking with him, but I'll be honest, I can't really see where they're backing him. If you wanted to give him reinforcements, you would probably do more than Sousa and you would do more than Conor Gallagher. So to me, I think the jury is very much still out. I think that I don't know what they were actually waiting for. I think just
the Champions League saved him a little bit.
Well, I think the Champions League is a completely different kettle of fish. We are a different team in Europe in general.
You're not.
But no, in Europe in general, I think we're unbeaten in 26, right? So that's spanning back through probably about 3 or 4 managers at this point. We actually have a really good record, home, away, mostly in the Champions League, Europa League, whatever.
And he got you out of the league phase as well.
Look, you have to give him some credit for that. I won't give him much. I'll be honest. But the last two games we've had 11 or 12.
The club is showing a lack of ambition because.
Oh, constantly, Harry.
But that's nothing new, Harry.
That's nothing new.
I know, but you do need a signing that's going to galvanise the club. But I don't think any sort of top level player.
No. When have they ever
really
done
wants to
that?
come
You
in.
told me the last player they've come in and go, oh, what a signing! Can't wait.
I literally couldn't even tell you.
You told me your
Rafael
lifetime.
van der Vaart.
Yeah, we're going back.
He was a caster.
Even then,
2010, 2011.
2010.
We're going back nearly 15 years. Yeah. We don't do that. I don't think it's one player that makes the difference. I think it's just constant dereliction of duty from the ownership. Daniel Levy was the face of it because he's part of ENIC and he part owns the club, but it's still ENIC. ENIC is still there. Obviously, you can't change these things overnight. It does take time, but I know that this manager is going nowhere fast. So I was out after the Arsenal game. I don't see any green shoots. There's no leg. I know when a manager's got legs and one that doesn't. This is a waste of my time.
Jermaine, when you're at this point in the season, with you being a former Premier League player as well, when the manager is on thin ice, what's the feeling like within the dressing room?
It does resonate through. You're just thinking, if the results don't go the way they should be or want to, we're going to get a new manager. And some players have got a strong bond with managers. Some players don't get on with them, some players do. There'll be conversations in the dressing room, especially after a loss, do you think he's going to be here next week?
Do you think they buy into what he's selling? Because I find him incredibly uninspiring.
Look, as a player, you have to be professional. So you have to listen to him because he's the commander-in-chief ultimately. So you got to try and buy into what he's saying. But when the results are not showing, you then start losing faith. When he starts giving these T-tots, when he starts doing these tactics and all these shapes and style of play and patterns of play, and you come off on a weekend and you've lost, you're like going, come on, Gaffer. Can you change it up or give something different?
Is that where you sort of see players acting out as well? So if you've lost the dressing room in a sense, disciplinary players will be turning up late and they don't have respect.
Listen, when you go on that football pitch and when you cross that white line, you don't go on there intending to lose. You do give it your all. It might not look it. You might get deflated when the team's spanking you left, right, and centre, or you feel like the formation or the tactics ain't right. But you've got to listen to the gaffer. You can't then go out there and start changing things. He's on the sideline. He changed it for you. And when it's not working, you get a little bit deflated. And then some senior players are like, oh, this guy.
But going back to obviously you, because it was sort of the 2000s and what we're talking early 2010s, bringing in the likes of Stoke as well. Do you think social media affects a lot of these players and the manager as well? Because they can't hide from it. When you were playing, it was word of mouth. And that was like...
Or newspapers,
Twitter was coming through.
No, I'm not that old, you know. Not a dinosaur. I had Instagram.
MySpace.
We'll be back next week to
yeah.
celebrate his
Don't crack it,
60th
don't crack it.
birthday.
I had
Jermaine
Instagram.
Pennant. We actually cannot wait for that. You know what I mean, though?
Listen,
'Cause
yeah,
it was
of
all,
course.
It was all papers and it was potentially...
It wasn't
like Sky
constant the
Sports
way it
News.
is now.
Yeah, no, it's right in
you
front of
can't
you,
get away
like
with
at the hand of you got your phone, you can read anything. So it wasn't as bad, but you did see it, and of course you hear rumours. We used to look at sometimes the websites, forums.
Like,
Have you seen me? You just think, oh my God, it was absolutely rubbish this weekend. He shouldn't be playing, and that's what it's like online. Just as soon as you turn on Instagram, there's a page dedicated to you or something. So players do see it, and managers definitely hear it and see it, and we all, and it does have a little effect. 100%.
We would do. Look, okay, I just don't want to talk about Spurs anymore, so let's move on. We'll talk about Liverpool, because let's be honest, Jermaine, your club, Liverpool, again, it's not having the best of times. Arne Slot had a little bit of relief on Wednesday in the Champions League, but if they fail to get a result against Newcastle, then the questions are unavoidable. He's made some comments as well in the media, which has not gone down well with the Liverpool fans. What's your stance on Arne Slot?
Well, for his comments, I understand what he's trying to say. I do, but you don't need to come out and say that. What he's saying, if we'd have got through to the last stages, we could have picked up some major injuries to key players, and that may have hampered us going into the last stage of the season. But come on, you've got to play a game. You've got to kind of run that risk. Every team does every game. Where my stance is with Slot, listen, he's won Liverpool the Premier League, and when Klopp left, we thought, oh no, we're going to be at Man United, we're going to be in transition, and he won his league, so massive respect, and he's due his flowers. But the second season as current champions, what we're seeing is not what we should be seeing from Liverpool. And if it wasn't for that winning the title, it'll be even more pressure. So all he's got to do now is finish in top 5 for a Champions League spot. If he doesn't...
It's crazy when you say that as well, though.
Yeah, I know. But if he doesn't, then he will be getting sacked.
It is tough, because obviously...
I've got to be careful what I say about Liverpool, because I'm playing in Liverpool Legends in 2 months.
We don't care about that, Jermaine.
Anfield,
We don't care.
I might not get let in. Klopp's coming back, they might not let me in.
We don't care about that.
Can we come and watch that or not?
Yeah, feel free.
We can boo you.
I'll get you tickets.
Do you think, like, with the comments that he's been making, I know that, like we said, they've not gone down well with the Liverpool fans. Liverpool fans are quite an emotional fan base. They had a very deep connection with Jurgen Klopp, and this is kind of different. In the last few weeks, it's a bit of like self-preservation for Arne Slot, like the comments about going from saying you've won 2 titles in 5 years at the end of last season to now saying you've won 2 league titles in 30. Is it just lowering the expectation to big himself up at this point?
No, listen, if you're constantly getting digs, there's going to come a point where you can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
You start putting on, your back's against the wall, and you start, defending yourself. And that's what he's doing. He's trying to say, look, in his back of mind, I've won you the Premier League, guys. We could have won the Champions League, but we ultimately lost to the team that actually won it. And he's just trying to put that shield up and start giving, like, Captain America deflecting, chung, chung. But like I said, we're all human. When someone's chipping away, which they're doing, they're hearing from the fans, hearing the moans, the groans, the boos, in the media, open the paper, you're seeing it. Xabi's free, he's under pressure. Is he going to get the sack? He's going to wake up thinking, just give me a day off.
Do you think Xabi Alonso is a long-term plan then? And question for you on this one as well. You played with Xabi Alonso. You got his number if you texted him.
I haven't got his number, no, but I've got his Instagram.
Have you DM'd him?
Send him a clip from this. Whatever you say, convince him.
you slid it.
If it doesn't happen with Slot,
Coaching.
I'm going to
convince
be
him.
honest. Right? I'm going to be honest. I messaged Stevie saying, please help us out. Like,
He went, who's that?
No, he didn't. And he goes, you know what? And he said, listen, I wouldn't want any manager sacked. Hopefully he will turn it around. It was very and I was like, oh no, get in, Stevie, just help us out. And I've also messaged Abbi saying, see you next season.
Do you remember me?
I'm so sorry.
Has that been left
we
on
wish
red?
you well.
Has it been left on red? Or
No. It is put a laughing face. I wish you well, Slot. I really do. But if things don't change, turn around, and we don't do better, and we don't get top 5, I think we'll see Xabi Alonso, because he was actually the number 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then he went to Real Madrid, and then we started to look elsewhere.
But do you think someone that's got such a deep connection to the club as well, connection both to Real Madrid, playing there for a number of seasons, and then go back to Liverpool, where do you stand on this? And obviously you would have known this as a player as well. Managers coming in that are also legendary players at the club as well. You don't want to taint that. No,
but I don't think I think he will have he has had a successful manager career. He won the league with Bayer Leverkusen. Listen, he went to Real Madrid and he's got the best win ratio of any manager since Carlo Ancelotti since 2014. No one's got a better win ratio to him. You know, he's only second behind Barcelona. They're still in the Champions League.
Yeah.
The sacking, you've looked at it, it's harsh. We've got managers in our league who, like Thomas Frank, who are still in a job. And Arne Slot is in a job, you know.
He's a good manager. You can't go by what's happened at Madrid.
Player power ruined him.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And, do you know what I'd like to quickly touch on? If he did come, the relationship with him and Florian Wirtz, Frimpong from the Leverkusen, would be just, you know.
They'll look like different players.
Before we move on, last question to you. Do you want to be part of his backroom staff?
Message him again.
Nah, it's too much pressure. I'm all right.
Free kick specialist. You know, you had a wonderful one
yes,
in the box as well.
Thank you. No, I'd like to. I'd be just.
Also, you'll be taking him out of the job. Like, just leave him here. Leave him on inside
I
talkSPORT.
like it.
All right, let's move on. Let's discuss our third and final topic of the weekend. There is just a couple days left of the transfer window. Not much has happened, but who has had the best window so far?
City are just ridiculous, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, just how much they've spent on fees and the wages. Does Pep even know what his best team is, do you reckon?
I think it's got
so much chopping and changing, isn't there?
Yeah, there is. But when you've got that much talent, you don't have the best team. You have people can come in and go out.
Yeah.
You put the best who's in the best form.
Probably have 3 or 4 interchangeables.
Yeah, they've got so much top players. Either one you put in, fantastic. So I think he just plays a team whoever's in the best form.
And also whoever fits the system and what he wants to implement on that weekend. Look, I actually think that the business, even though the wages are obviously extortionate and whatever they can do that, I think it's a decent bit of business.
I think go
and get in Semenyo, unbelievable.
For 60 million.
Yeah. But let's be honest, that's a bargain. When we're seeing Strand Larsen go to Crystal Palace for 50 million.
I don't think Strand Larsen's actually that bad.
No, he's not. But the market's changed.
Yeah, the market is. Yeah, but the market's been.
Such players go for Sky High.
The market's been like that for a good couple of years now.
It has, but it's absurd.
Yeah, but I know, but like 7.5 million is now 35.
Okay, but you're talking about a combined value. So
though.
what we're saying, we've got 20 million for Mark Gahey, right? And you've got 65 for Semenyo. So what's that? 85? 85, right. In comparison, let's say Crystal Palace, 35 million on Brennan Johnson. Thank you very much. And on top of that, let's go 50 million Strand Larsen. It's basically the same fee, but look at the difference of what you're getting.
Yeah.
How can that be that?
It's
But
great.
then you look at the fees.
You got to look at
the wages
as well.
I know, but it's crazy.
But I know, but
50 million for Strand Larsen, you're mad.
Well, how long was Strand Larsen? I think Strand Larsen signed a new deal and some, didn't he? Off the top of my head.
Did he?
Yeah,
I
he
think
did.
he might have done.
Fair.
I mean,
crazy.
Don't quote me on that.
No, he did.
Absolutely mad.
My Wolverhampton Wanderers knowledge is
We need to brush up on that. Obviously, I personally want anybody to win the league other than Arsenal. Like, let's be honest, there's no secret of that whatsoever. Serious question, though, when it comes to the contenders, which would be City and then Aston Villa.
Oh, you'd love to see it.
Do we need to actually start taking Aston Villa seriously about the fact they could actually win the league?
You have to. If they're there. They're not there.
Well.
They're there on merit, not fluke. You know, so you have to.
But it's mental. The start of the season. I think they were like
the first 5 games they couldn't score.
That's ridiculous.
The first 5 was terrible.
And all of a sudden, things have changed. They've just got this rhythm and they're riding this wave. So you have to take them seriously. We've seen them. Yeah, they got a little hiding at the Emirates, but apart from that, they've been fantastic. So you have to take them seriously, especially when you're starting to see Arsenal, a couple of cracks start creeping
Little
in.
crumble.
You know, the last three games. the last three
No,
games, you know,
yeah.
no
Last
wins in
three
three in the Premier League.
Yes.
That's how you know we're a good side. Freezer crisis. I hear it.
You low-key know that there's a worry in the back of your head.
What worry? You're focusing a lot with these last three games,
I know.
yeah? Abby, me and you have been on goal shows a lot. There's nothing that we've said today that I haven't said
I know.
since August.
Same.
And imagine that. Imagine all of the good, the bad. We're still waiting to go into full flow. We're still top. What do you think's going
When
to
does
happen?
full flow start then?
You said the good,
As
the
soon as
bad. You
possible.
said the good, the bad, and you forgot the ugly.
We can't
as
be
well.
ugly. When I look like this,
Shout out to
I
Clint Eastwood.
Arsenal, we're not ugly. We're definitely not.
Just one more question to you, CJ, because Unai Emery obviously used to be at
Big him
Arsenal
up.
and, you know, didn't have the greatest of times there, and he's actually not looked at that fondly. But he's at Aston Villa. He's done an unbelievable job. Let's say that Villa are really serious in this title race. They've got injuries at the moment. They have brought in Tammy Abraham. They've brought in Douglas Luiz again, and they will get their players back. Would you like poetic justice, right? From a hater would be that obviously Unai Emery wins the league
You're not going
over Arsenal. There's not one part of you that believes that
He's
could
not
happen.
going. With the greatest of respect to Unai Emery, I'd always admire him because anyone that takes the job after a great man like Arsene
Yeah.
Wenger, like you've seen with Slot and Klopp, he'll always have my appreciation. That being said, when has he performed? He's doing very well in the league. When has he won a proper league title like that?
He's won quite a few European
The only thing
cups.
that he's done well
Good
domestic
pedigree.
cups. That's the one thing I would say with Unai Emery. He failed us in the league when he was here. We failed him in the Europa League final. There's a reason every time he's been to the final, he's 9 times out of 10 won. Unfortunately, with us, he didn't. He's never... The one thing that scares me with Unai Emery at Aston Villa, he's very good at a team where they're kind of the underdogs, where they're not necessarily seen of winning it. I like the recruitment. I like the tactics. I like how actually, they played when we lost to them away from home. I do think they will run out of steam, but they have to be taken seriously. At the end of the day, it's January. Anybody that's still here, they have to be taken seriously. Me, personally, I think this is going to be the most inconsistent title winners in a long time.
I think it'll be the worst title winners.
I agree.
Worst, best,
It
who
will.
cares?
It will.
Listen, me as an Arsenal fan, I don't care if they say we're negative. I don't care what they say. If we're doing this in May, shove that where the sun don't shine.
This is your best time to win the league.
Simple.
This is the best chance you've
without a
got to
doubt.
win the Premier League. If you do not win it now,
You never will.
I don't see
Never.
when you're going to win it again.
Oh, you've not said this the last 4 years. I'm not saying
And
you're
it's
wrong.
happened.
I'm not saying you're
You
wrong.
still haven't done it.
Yeah, until we actually do it.
Again.
You lot sing now, I'll be singing in May. I just hope we've got this same show with you three and I've got my hat on and we're living.
Just remember, you've got to play Fulham again, and that's
bro.
2 seasons ago, it was, if we beat Aston Villa, if we beat Aston Villa.
And this is how you know we're a
had to
big.
beat
This is how
Fulham.
you know we're a big club.
No, this is how you know.
We beat Arsenal trophies.
This is how you know everyone can't bear your
we
club
don't care
and
if
your
you hate
fans.
us.
They've got no Leeds
Who gives
yet.
a monkey?
They've got
Leeds at the
Who gives a
weekend.
big up Leeds?
Leeds at the
You see the
weekend.
haters. You
You've
see
got
the
to go.
haters.
You've got to host Sunderland at the same
We
time as well.
don't
Granit
care.
Xhaka
Bring
will
on
be
anybody.
back. Brentford, Igor
We
Thiago.
want
is
all the smoke.
rip that defence
Bring on
apart.
everyone.
Rip 'em.
We're the most hated and rated. This is what I'm talking about. People love my football club. Hate is just support. We love you lot, really.
Okay.
Thank you for your
right.
support.
Well,
Especially Fulham. You're the worst Fulham fan I've met.
wow. On that note,
I'm the only one.
Nah, to be fair, Marcus is normally here, man.
Marcus, they're very different, though.
Yeah, clearly.
Right, on that note, guys, we need to wrap. So that's everything you need to know ahead of a very packed weekend.
Thanks to Jermaine and CJ, and for you for watching. We'll be back next week.